go get them again.
Welcome back to another unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we are delving into the brand of Mont Blanc and this one called Legend. Yes, I never smelt Legend. And, you know, it's a legend in the game, in the cheapie aisle, bargain bin aisle, which I never smelt or wanted to smell. But here we are today. It is part of the Decant site, so I might as well do a video since we hardly speak about Mont Blanc on this channel. So it's kind of nice to see, you know, kind of beef up my resume. I always love kind of talking about this, is why you do videos on things like this. Well, for me, it's kind of like a video library for myself, just to kind of go, okay, yeah, I've smelt Legend. I smelt it in 2025. This is my thoughts. It might change, it might not. You never know. But yeah, it was one of those that I never had the inkling to actually smell. I don't live under a rock, so I already know that this thing is kind of compared to, a lot of people talk about Platinum Egoist from Chanel, which is a good release. And also Abercrombie and Fitch Legend. No, not Legend. This is Legend. Fierce. Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. The mall scent, which I own, which I think is actually quite decent for a mall scent. I remember back in the day when malls used to smell like that. But yeah, Mont Blanc Legend, definitely a legend in the game. Finally getting my thoughts on it. Obviously not an unboxing, the Decant site. This is a returned product. Somebody bought the big bottle. This is a 200 ml bottle. This is massive. So yeah, give my thoughts. Now, before we get into anything, if you're new here, welcome to the Ropes Away channel. I'm your host, Mark. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. I will go into bargain bin scents, things like that. And, you know, just because I review niche and I've been here for years and years, people always get kind of surprised. They're like, oh, you haven't smelt this fragrance? Like, no, I didn't. And I don't mind saying that. Like, I could definitely not do a video and just kind of, you know, this is what my resume is. But no, I have no shame. If you think I'm less of a fragrance head just because I haven't smelt things that are legendary in the fragrance game, it's my journey. It won't go in a straight line. It will go all over the place. So yeah, I'm going kind of backwards here in the bargain bin and kind of see what this thing is all about. I have an open mind with brands like this. I should be doing more Mont Blanc fragrance reviews. They're kind of known right now as the cheapie brand, the bargain bin brand that will replicate some of the favorites in the game. That's kind of my thought process with this brand. So we will see. Now let's take a look at the note breakdown. We'll take a look at the nose, all that. So let's take a look at the notes first. In the top, we have lavender, pineapple, bergamot, lemon verbena. So yeah, some fruity aspects, some citrusy aspects, some green aspects, and of course, aromatics from the lavender. In the mid, we have red apple, dried fruits, oak moss, geranium, coumarin, tonka bean basically, and rose. So very busy mid, a lot of things going on here. And in the base, we have tonka bean again, so coumarin, tonka bean, tomato, and sandalwood. So very heavy mid. So this can go a lot of different ways. Obviously, I own Platinum Egoist. I've smelt Fierce. I've worn those fragrances for years and years and years. So we'll see. Now, this was released back in 2011. Yes, we are going down back into the crates of Fragcomm here. One of these fragrances that I should have reviewed back in 2011 when I was on the platform. Nose, Céline Pedriel. Never heard of her. I would assume this is probably her big break. I wonder how she did after this. And Olivier Pêcheur. So Olivier, we know, All-Star Perfumier, Pêcheur, really great nose in the game, All-Star. I believe he also made Explorer for this brand, obviously off the Aventus hype. So Pêcheur kind of knows his way around. Pricing, this one retails for $80 to $100 USD. Don't be a sucker. Mont Blanc, there's certain brands out there that are just bargain bin brands. So if you're just stumbling upon this video and you've been buying Mont Blanc retail, don't. They're at discounters. They're around 20 to 30 bucks. Yeah, a big bottle like this, probably you're looking around 50. But that's probably the cap out. TJ Maxx, things like that. Look around. This is a brand that I would never pay retail. Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein. There's numerous brands that I would never pay retail because the slashing is quick and it's swift and it stays put as really low. And usually when brands have fragrances in the bargain bin for 20, 30 bucks, they're usually discontinued. There's so much stock, nobody's buying it. That's why it's so low. This is one of those brands that just continues. This is their bread and butter. They will just continue releasing this fragrance and selling it at that price point. They're making enough profit that they're happy with that. So let's delve into it. Let's put it on strip first as per usual, but I am going to put it on skin. And Atomizer is singing to me. So let's see what Legend, the legendary Legend in the bargain bin. Let's see how this thing smells. Oh, oh, this smells like the 90s. Oh, this smells like the bargain bin. You know, like something spilt in the bargain bin. This smells like that. It smells fresh. It has like that lavender, cologne-y, cheap vibe. It is compared to Fierce. I don't know. Fierce is a lot more sharp. And I think I prefer the Fierce because it has some bite to it as well. It has some spices. This one, lots of lavender in this thing. Holy, and it's not the greatest lavender either. I don't like a screechy lavender. I don't like a. You're whistling. I'm gonna wear it. It's my scent of the day. Why not? Yeah. Very synthetic. It's bargain bin approved. It definitely, that's where it belongs. Lots of lavender, a little bit of woods here. Nondescript florals, some oak moss, a little bit of a synthetic fruity touch, right? Like pineapple. I don't smell bergamot. Like I don't smell. Lavender is the biggest piece in here. The verbena has given out its green nuances, but also oak moss. I'm getting some green aspects. Geranium can do that as well, but it's very nondescript. A little bit of woods, like, yeah. It's one of those that it's so piled on and it's so like, you know, as a technical fragrance reviewer, it's just like a big mush, right? It's like a big mush. Olivier has done better. But I understand the concept. I could see why they would make something like this. And I could see why it's kind of legendary because it's kind of like, this is like your stereotypical starter fragrance. You know, it's cheap. Someone starts with this. Right, we all start somewhere. It's an okay bargain bin snag. It's like your typical bargain bin. Like it's like everybody starts somewhere. And when they see Legend, they're like, yeah, let's get that one. You know, it's great for a newbie. Don't spend retail, of course, at all. But it's safe. It's versatile. You can dress it up, dress it down. But again, like the pluses in this, like the negatives far outweigh the positives. So what do I mean by that is you know, you need a Swiss Army knife. I talk about this is a Swiss Army knife fragrance. You need some of these. Which are safe, versatile. You can dress them up, dress them down. You know, they're cheap. And there's a lot of that in the positive side of things. But, you know, the scent profile itself, like once you start getting into this, this is going to go on the wayside. And it all depends on your journey, right? There's some fragrances like me that when I first started, right, I started with Tommy Hilfiger. I started with CKB. I started with Swiss Army. Those are fragrances that when I smell them now, I'm like, oh, like it brings me back to the memory. So I value them a little bit more than, you know, your run of the mill. Like somebody that doesn't have any experiences with CKB, they'll smell it and they'll be like, oh, generic, right? This is where I'm at with this one is that it's going to be special to some and a lot of people because it was so cheap and it still is. It's been so cheap for so long and, you know, it has a good track record of sort. But you can do better for your safe, versatile, easy to throw on. Maybe you're going to have to spend a little bit more, and that's where it is. Like for a teenager, I don't see anything wrong with this. For someone just starting, or it's still your Swiss Army knife, I don't see, you know, big problems here. But there's no fireworks here. It's okay for what it is. I've smelt worse from the brand of Mont Blanc, so I have to kind of give it that. And I really do see why it is loved by many because of all the things I just stated, all the positives that I've stated. So, eh, and okay, like for a guy like me, this is like lost in translation. Like this is going to collect dust, which understandably, right? But for someone that has like 5 or 10 fragrances or 3 fragrances or 2 fragrances, or you're looking for your first one and you see this in the bargain box, the bargain bin it's like going to the casino. You're going to win some, you're going to lose a lot more. So there is going to be some prizes in there. Just because it's a bargain bin doesn't mean they're all losers. And I feel like this is one of those that, you didn't win, but you're at a good start. There's a lot worse out there. Like it's your average. This is like where it's a safe purchase in the bargain bin. There you go. There you go. Perfect. To just start you off. Yeah. Now that you've heard my take, I'd love to see yours in comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly, right? It is what it is. There's not much else more to say. But I'd like to see the comments, good, bad, and the ugly, as always. I do have somewhere in the purgatory fragrance by, like 3 or 4 years ago. It's at the bottom of the purgatory. They had a Legend box where they had, I think, 3 or 4 of them, 30 mils. I have it somewhere. So you're going to see some Legends, and maybe this one's in the, I don't remember. I bought it though. It was for like 60 bucks or something, but you got 4. It was good for a reviewer, right? To get kind of started, your feet wet. And I think this one's in it, so I'll kind of forego that one. But either way, I can't wait to see the comments, good, bad, and the ugly. And everybody and their mother smelt this one, so we'll see what the comments bring in. But finally, a standalone review on Legend on my channel by Mont Blanc. Exactly what I thought. I prefer the Abercrombie and Fitch. I think that one's better, more personality, maybe a little more expensive, but I really kind of like that one. I prefer that one over this one. And again, that Fierce really isn't a big thing in my fragrance journey, but smelling it, I prefer it more. And Platinum Egoist is on another level than this. So both of those are better fragrances, but versus the prices, right? It makes all kinds of sense. As always, a great report fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scents wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.